To all intents and purposes, we will have some cases of the coronavirus here in the UK already.
I would expect so. And that's coming back to the point that that's the scenario we have been preparing for, that we are ready. Don't assume because this is a virus that we can diagnose it immediately.
Brit living in coronavirus ground zero, Wuhan, not tested in UK after flying home. David Marland, a maths teacher in Wuhan, regularly walks through the live animal and seafood market where the coronavirus outbreak is believed to have originated, and now fears he is a risk to others. Health chief says deadly coronavirus is likely to be in the UK already. Then why didn't you quarantine people? It should be standard practice that you quarantine people coming from an area or region where there is a deadly virus outbreak. It should be standard practice. Why didn't you do it? Why don't you do it now when you already, everyone knows that the incubation period where you can spread the disease but you don't show symptoms yet is about 2 weeks. So why aren't you quarantining them now? Like, why did you allow this to happen? It's almost like the plan was to let it spread. Like, the only nation in the world who's actually, closed their borders to people from China is North Korea. The only nation. All the other nations are ruled by people who seems like their agenda is depopulation. Very strange. Almost like the plan is to get it to spread. A British teacher who lives in the epicenter of the deadly coronavirus outbreak says he wasn't tested when he flew home to the UK last week. David Marland lives just 5 minutes from a live animal and seafood market in Wuhan, where it is believed the SARS-like virus was passed to humans. The 34-year-old walks through the market nearly every day, and at least one person living in his apartment block in the Chinese city has tested positive for the flu-like illness. Mr. Marland said he rang NHS 111 for advice after landing at Gatwick Airport last week and expected to be called in immediately for a test, but he was told to only call or come if he had the sniffles.
They tried to pretend as if everything was normal. In fact, they even flouted this whole thing by holding these big banquets and things. There was a massive attempt at a world record for like the most amount of people having a banquet together, literally 7 kilometers away, which you mentioned in your video.
In my video.
Yeah, 7 kilometers away from where ground zero for this disease was, and it was held like a day or two after there were 56 new confirmed cases.
It's very, very, very important to address the fact that it was done after confirmed cases, not before.
Correct. So they know, oh, look, there is this very bad
cases.
Disease.
Yeah.
It's spreading. We're getting more and more and more cases, and it's definitely, spreading human to human. So what are we going to do? Let's get together and make the biggest human soup that we can, where everyone's just going to have a good time and eat from the same dishes. They still keep trying to push this like everything's fine thing, to the point that it's actually detrimental to everybody's health, right? Anyway, they keep doing that. Then they decide, okay, we're going to quarantine Wuhan. Great. They shut down the train stations, they shut down the airports, they shut down all these bits and pieces. But then they tell everyone 8 hours before, oh, we're going to be shutting down the roads, you won't be able to drive out. So what happens? More than 200,000 cars fled from Wuhan filled with people, and that's buses and things too. So you're like saying, okay, we're going to quarantine, so if you want to get out of here, get out of here. It's really ridiculous.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Even after the quarantine happened, I have a video, this is after, timestamp video, of people driving out, and the cops are giving them like thermal scans, like checking their temperature.
Yeah.
But they're still letting people leave. So where is this massive cutoff quarantine?
Yeah, it's tough.
What about a little money to get through with your car?
Yeah, of course.
You joking me?
The government's constantly pushing this idea that everything's okay and it's only a few cases, and so people are not really taking it very seriously, which is even worse.
Right.
It's not. Okay, now I got to talk about this. There are so many people posting on social media on how they've escaped Wuhan with symptoms. The There's
It's like bragging rights.
yeah, it's like, look, I've got this. This is my medical report. I have like a fever and I got this and that. But I'm now on a plane to.
Why would you brandish that?
The mayor of Wuhan has tonight revealed that 5 million people left before Thursday's lockdown. That's almost half of the city's population. And millions of people who will have travelled across China and around the world, potentially carrying a virus which is extremely contagious and proving difficult to contain.